I'm Darren Blue. We are the Blues Brothers, and we are here with the incredible, the honky-tonk icon, living legend, really, Kendell Marvel.
What's happening,
brother?
Thanks for having me. That was quite an introduction there. I'm not sure I can live. We may have to redo that. I'm not sure I can live up to that.
He laid it on thick, but it's all true. It's all true. Hey, look it up.
I like it. What's going on here in Ashland City?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful out here in Ashland City. Hey, weeks like these, we'll take it sunny, 80 degrees, 60 at night. Come on.
Right now, it's been perfect. Like I said, I've been down to the beach, and it was pretty nice there. And I come home, and I was like, damn, it's pretty cool here for end of June. Feels pretty nice, but I'm not going to get too used to it.
Yeah. Hey, this is our first, I guess it's summer, full swing of summer here, but we've been taking full advantage, doing a little kayaking, and it's awesome. I understand you've been doing some fishing.
I have been. Yeah, I've been down. I got a little place down in the Gulf of Mexico down there in Mexico Beach, and we just got it up and going after the hurricane from 2018, and so I took this downtime to go down there, and actually my wife made me go down there and put everything together, put all the beds together and hang pictures and all that crap. But it's been pretty nice to kind of lay low for a little bit, but I'm ready to go back to work. Damn.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm excited for everybody out there watching today. You may have seen Kendell before on some of our sessions that we've done on YouTube here, the George Jones sessions, recently the Fireside sessions, just released today a session here, already at 80,000 views. And I'm excited to have you play a couple songs here today. This is a real treat.
Absolutely.
It's a real treat.
I'm excited to be here, that's for sure.
Well, what do you want to kick us off with, brother?
You know what? I think I'm going to do I'll do a song that's on my new record that came out last October that I wrote with Dan Auerbach, who produced my record. Dan's in the Black Keys, and I'm signed to his label over at Easy Eye. And me and him and an old country singer named John Anderson wrote. I'm a big John Anderson fan, so this is the first tune I ever got to write with him. I told you that I love you, not a minute at a time. I promised you forever, but I might have changed my mind. But nothing that you did or didn't do, I've always had a hard time with the truth. Though you wanted to believe me, wanted me to be the one. I love you come so easy, we'll roll right on the tongue. No, I never meant to make you feel the fool. Oh, I've got a hard time with the truth. If I'm being honest, it's easier to lie than to go and break a promise, go and make you cry. It ain't like I don't like lying back to you. I've had a hard time with the truth. When I look into the mirror, sometimes I don't like what I see. Like I'm looking at the devil, staring right straight back at me. I keep praying that one day he turns to lose. Oh, I got a hard time with the truth. If I'm being honest, your life. Go and break a promise. Go and make me cry. It ain't like I don't like lying to you, but forever is too much to live up to. Yeah, somewhere deep inside you always knew it's a hard time with the truth.
Man, if we stopped it right now, everyone already got their money's worth. But I'm glad we got a few more songs.
That's right. We got songs for days, man. We can drag them out of the hat.
Yeah, if anybody's got songs for days, it's Kendell Marble. That's for sure. So
I've been lucky enough to write a bunch of them, and it's just hard remembering them sometimes.
Well, you're
when you get a little older, you're like, man, I can't remember the words to that song.
I got to call out one of the comments here
that I've made money on. You know, I've had hits on. Somebody's like, play that song you wrote for so and so. I was like, yeah, I don't remember that song.
I don't remember that. How many songs do you think you've written? If you do have any idea how many you've written in your lifetime?
Probably 1,000. I don't know, a bunch.
I think it's more than 1,000.
And it may be. I just I'm getting ready to switch over. I've been at a publishing company for 6 years, and my publishing deal is up. So I'm getting ready to go somewhere else, and I have to do a discography, which is, somebody's like, well, I said, what's that? It's like a list of songs you've had recorded. Like, so I had to do ones. I had to go through all this stuff and find songs. It's like, hell, I forgot about that. And
that's a good problem to have.
It is, but there was a time in my life I was like, man, if somebody would record one of my songs, I'd die a happy man. I've been really lucky. I've been really blessed, really lucky for sure.
Well, you've written and recorded some incredible songs, and you've also written songs for some of the who's who of country music. What are some of the most meaningful ones to you?
Man, I've had hits on everybody from George Strait to Chris Stapleton and Gary Allen, J. Cole, and Jamie Johnson. But I would say probably the most near and dear things, probably the Chris Stapleton stuff, because me and Chris have been old friends for a long time and wrote a lot of songs together when we were both just writing songs for other people. We probably got 60 songs together, and when he hit it, and he's recorded a few of our things. Won a Grammy with one last year, and that was Either Way, a song me and a buddy of ours, Ken James, wrote, and that was pretty special. But they're all special. I mean, you kind of get discouraged in the music business because it's just weird times right now. But anytime it's flattering, I don't care who it is. Anytime somebody records a piece of your work, if you're not flattered, you probably should go do something else.
One of my favorite questions always to ask somebody that's a songwriter is, what are maybe one or two of the ones that you didn't necessarily expect to have the reaction that they did? Are there anything that kind of surprised you that you thought maybe, hey, I don't know, and then it just kind of took off?
There's a lot of them like that, because it's funny because your favorite songs don't get recorded. The songs like, I can't believe nobody ever done that song. And I've had a lot of those as everybody else has. But, my first hit was a song called Right Where I Need to Be for Gary Allen. And I just didn't think, I liked the song, but I didn't think it was that. And when we demoed that song, I remember we really wanted Mark Chestnut to record that song. This was in 1998.
Wow.
So it's like, we really wanted Chestnut. And they said, well, Chestnut don't like it, but Gary Allen does. And he's like, okay, that's fine. I'll take a cut on anybody. And Gary wasn't, he was having some success, but he wasn't a star yet.
And that was the first day you moved to Nashville, right?
Yeah, I wrote that the day I moved to Nashville. Yeah. That don't happen.
That's
it never happened to anybody else. I was just in the right room. People, take that with a grain of salt. I was just in the right room at the right time with the right dude, you know,
Hey,
with the
but
right
it can
idea.
happen.
And it worked out good for both of us. But
Can happen, but you were putting in the work because if the old myth isn't mistaken, you started playing honky tonks when you were 10, right?
I did, yes. My dad took me to bars, and I would play for tips, and he'd get free beer, and they'd let me have beef jerky and pickled eggs, whatever, behind the bar. And we talk about some of those stories. Some of them, it's funny because some of them just will come up, and I like a crazy memory. Like I completely forgot about that, and just some wild, crazy stuff that went on that I seen as a kid in places. I would never took my kids there, but you know, I'm glad he took me. But I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. That's for sure. That's for
Well,
sure.
I want to hear some of those stories if we can later on here, but it's time for us to do another one.
Sure.
What were you thinking?
I think I'll go back to my first album and do a song that the guy that I've done the record with, who produced the record, Keith Gaddis, buddy of mine from Austin, Texas, who's a great guitar player and singer, songwriter, and producer. He played with Dwight Yoakam for years, was Dwight's band leader, and he produced my album. And he brought a piece of this song in. He had started, and he was like, "Man, we're making this record. We need a song like this." And he played me a little piece of it. I was like, "Oh man, I love that song." You know, I said, "Well, what's the matter with that one?" He's like, "Well, it's not done. It's just a verse and a chorus." I was like, "Well, how about we finish that one?" So we wrote that song. It's probably one of my favorite songs off my first record, and it's called "Gypsy Woman." That California sun might warm your skin, way you thought it would. Heard you left with no goodbyes again, and put a hurt on Hollywood. Gypsy woman, don't you think it's time to come around? Gypsy woman, when you gonna lay your leaving down? Got all you own across your back, but you ain't getting anywhere. With your daddy's old green artist sack and your thumb out in the air. Gypsy woman, don't you think it's time you come around? Gypsy woman, where you gonna live, leaving now? Live down the road. Snow, it's almost melted now. You always like it here in the spring. So if you end up breezing back through town, you know where I leave the key. Gypsy woman, don't you think it's time you come around? Woo! Yeah.
Kendell Marvel.
You boys are digging
better
that
than that.
scratcher out there, I see.
Yep, little chicken scratch.
That's
Yep.
one of my favorites. Good old local beer out there.
Yeah, I just tried this the other day. Little Harpeth. Harpeth River is only 30 minutes away from us over here.
Right.
So it's
I lived out there where you all live for years. My kids were both raised out there in the Cheatham County area. So we lived up by Cheatham Dam, up Neptune community up there where it's called. So
okay. All right.
that's a good spot. We had a great little spot right next to Don Williams. Don was my neighbor up there for
Yeah, it's beautiful out here.
Oh, it's great. And you guys got a great spread out there. That's a good spot.
Thank you. Yeah, we were very fortunate. Very
good place to quarantine right there.
It is a good place to quarantine.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good place to quarantine. We were very fortunate to, before the quarantine happened, have yourself and a number of other artists out here for the fireside sessions. We did some acoustic content in front of the fireplace, and
I think I got the early morning one on that. I think I got the 9 o'clock call on that one. That
was early.
Get the crap together at 9 a.m. So I better stay sober the night before.
But did you?
Well, I just started drinking earlier.
Nice.
Drink early, go to bed early is my motto.
But we do appreciate you coming out for those, and not only those, but the George Jones sessions inside the George Jones Museum. I would love to hear your thoughts on playing inside the George Jones Museum and just doing that whole session.
That was great. And it's looking back, I was looking at that a while back, and because them still pop up every now and then, and I was I'd been sick as all get out. I mean, I had a bad cold and wasn't feeling good, but you had a good crew there, good sound guys, and they made me sound a lot better than what I probably had sounded that day. But that was really cool doing that, and I still got my country rebel hat that you guys gave me, and I made a lot of fans off of every time you guys put us on here. So we appreciate that, because you guys obviously got a big following. So we always gain a bunch of new fans every time we do anything for you guys.
Yes, sir. Well,
it's just good for us, that's for sure.
We love the music and we love sharing it with the fans, and we hope that you guys, if you're enjoying this tonight, you'll go follow Kendell Marvel. And also, if you guys are enjoying this, one of the best things that you can do is just hit that share button. Yep. And
absolutely,
of course, go download and stream his music, because it's amazing. Solid Gold Sounds is what we have in the ticker here. That's his latest album, and you guys just heard one off the debut album that came out in 2017, was it?
Yep, 2017. Low Down and Lonesome is the name of that one. So
nice.
That was fun. That was a fun record to make. They've all been fun to make. Every time I make one, I was like, I can't believe I'm getting to make another record.
When's the next time you think you're going to be put one out?
It'll probably be a while before we do a whole album, but we've got some things in the work that are.
I know you got some top secret stuff coming. We got some
too
hard on it
coming out here shortly, but
I don't want any slips.
We're starting with it's been. I guess the first single came off that record last August, so this fall I'm sure we'll start putting some new things together and start getting the plan. That stuff takes a long time to get together, and I thought you just would record songs and throw them up on iTunes and that was it. There's a lot of stuff that goes into putting a record out that I'm learning about. I didn't know anything about it, so takes a while.
Yeah, it's a complex industry and business for sure.
It sure is. Yeah,
there's a lot of moving parts. It really is.
Way too many for me.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Well, you want to play something off Solid Gold Sounds?
I do, yeah. So this is probably my favorite song on the record. It's for sure my wife's favorite. It was probably right when I first started writing with Auerbach, and I went in to meet him, and he'd heard my first record and was like, let's write some songs, and we can write some cool tunes, and we'll maybe make a record or something. I was like, okay, cool. So I think we wrote 4 days. He likes to write at 10 o'clock in the morning and 2 o'clock, 2 different sessions. So we done 4 days of those and ended up writing about 16 songs, recorded all of them, and 10 of them made the record. And we were supposed to write one day with a guy named Roger Cook. Roger Cook's a legendary songwriter. He wrote Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress for the, who done it? The Hollies, maybe, I think it was. And which was back in, it's been on every sports movie in history, pretty well. Wrote I'd Like to Buy the World a Coke, the Coca-Cola commercial. I Believe in Love for Don Williams. Wrote some great songs. And for some reason that day he got his wires crossed and he didn't show up. So we ended up writing one of my favorite songs that I've ever been a part of without him. So you snooze, you lose, Roger. This song's called He Must Have Kept It for Himself.
All right, take it away.
Here we go. If I die and go to heaven, as soon as I walk through that gate, and I lay eyes upon my Maker, first thing I'm gonna say is thank you for that woman you put in my life. She's what kept me going, treated me so right. Well, honey, I could live forever, never love nobody else. God made anything better than you. He must have kept it for himself. The way you helped me fight my demons, nursed me through the black and blue. How you always know just what I'm needing, and all the little love and things you do. Thank you for believing, never losing faith, when I gave you every reason to go and walk away. Honey, I could live forever, never love nobody else. God made anything better than you. He must have kept it for himself. Honey, I could live forever, never love nobody else. If God made anything better than you, he must have kept it for himself. He must have kept it for himself.
Yeah,
Thank you, thank you.
yes, sir.
Good old love song.
Sounds great.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
That guitar sounds great too. That's got to be one of your favorites based on the wear and tear that I'm seeing.
It is, yeah. I haven't had it a whole lot of time, but a buddy of my dad's owned it for years.
2 weeks.
But it's been played a bunch. There is some pictures of me playing this when I was a kid with no hole in it.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I've had it a while. I've got a couple other ones that I've
Special
had.
guitar.
Oh, it's my favorite to go out and just beat the hell out of it. You can go out. I can spill beer in it.
Did you buy it or somebody give you that guitar?
I bought it. I bought it, but it was a buddy of my dad's, and he was going to leave it to his son, and his son actually got killed in a bar fight, which was a real bad deal. And then he was going to leave it to his grandson, and his grandson got killed on a motorcycle, and so he just wanted to get rid of it. And I'd always told him, I said, if you ever get rid of that guitar, I want it. And he said, I'll sell it to you. And he sold it to me really cheap. But he was just like, if you ever get rid of it, I want it back. I said, done. So
deal.
Never get rid. And I play. I mean, this is my life. I play this at every show that I do. I travel with this guitar, and I don't usually check it on an airplane. I try to keep it pretty close to me. The guitar on my wall up there that I bought that one off of John Osborne from Brothers Osborne. It was their bus guitar. But I got a bunch of guitars, probably more than my wife wants me to have. She's like, where's some of them guitars somewhere? Like stepping underneath the bed or in the office. I'm like, man, I've got to have guitars. What I make a living with.
What do you have more of, guitars or awards for songwriting?
Oh, by far, if I had any awards, I had guitars. Life would be fantastic. That's for sure.
I don't know. You got a lot of them on the wall there. You got a lot of songwriting awards.
I've got a few. Yeah, I've been like I said, lucky enough to land a few here and there, and I've been lucky in that aspect. I got a lot of guitars and guns and a lot of songs.
Nice. Amen. Those are all good things to have.
Yeah.
Now, when you're writing, do you play that same guitar, or do you have a different guitar that you
most of the time? I have an old J200 that I got when I was a kid. It's my favorite guitar. It's so sentimental. I don't play it much out. I just don't like to take it out in public, and I won't spill beer in that one. It's it's just
right.
Sentimental to me. But sometimes I'll write on it. But and sometimes I've got some cheap guitars that I like the way they sound. I have a cool little resonator. If you've ever seen them, they're kind of metal pie pan thing, and they got a different swampy sounds. It depends what you're looking for. I got some high strung stuff. And that's usually the cheaper models. But I've got some really good songs out of them cheap guitars. That's for sure. But I've written a lot of them on this one here for sure. But this is an old Road Warrior. It's an old J45, and you can't beat them. Can't beat them J45s. You beat a hole in.
Awesome.
I always tell people what's a bullet hole. I said, guitar saves a lot.
Yeah, it's not a bullet hole from a bar fight.
Exactly.
Nice. Well, I want to remind everybody, you also got a lot of great songs on Solid Gold Sounds that everybody needs to download and stream. And we appreciate everybody out there watching. We got time for one more song, which literally could be any song, given Kendell and his amazing catalog of music that he's created. So I'm excited to hear what it's going to be.
Well, you want me to do one off Solid Gold Sounds, or
whatever you want to do, whatever you're feeling?
You know what? I think I'll get back in the first record again.
Okay.
This song was recorded. I wrote with Randy Houser and Keith Gaddis. We wrote it on. We was out on a tour with Randy, just writing songs on his bus, and we wrote this in Indianapolis, Indiana, and it was a damn rainy day. I remember just a crappy day, and his producer and A&R people were coming up that evening to that show. I remember them coming on the bus, and we played it to him, and it was just like he was like, "Oh man, that's exactly what we're needing." And Randy cut the song. It wasn't. They never put it out as a single, but it was on his record. They call me Cadillac is the name of the record. And so when I started doing a record for my first album, Keith asked me, said, "What do you want to do?" I said, I want to do everything around the song called Low Down and Lonesome that he had written with me. I said, I either want to be low down or lonesome in all these songs. He was like, "It's a great idea." So my version is way different than Randy's. And the guy who played the guitar lick at the front of it, which I can't really play, named Audley Freed, who's a great guitar player here in Nashville, come up with this cool lick. And Hauser sang the harmonies on the record. And I remember him coming in, and as soon as it kicked off, he looked over and he's like, "I sure wish my record had that guitar lick on it." I'm gonna fake my way through this guitar lick, but it's nothing like Audley does it.
I think you'll be just fine.
This is Low Down and Lonesome.
Got it.
lonesome, but I damn sure done my time. Trying to please a woman, trying to walk the line. She washed her hands with our love. I went right straight down the drain, straight down the tubes with the booze and blues, where the fools and losers hang. Now I'm low down and lonesome, but I feel right at home, 'cause I've done grown accustomed to singing like a stone. But since I hit rock bottom, I've been high as I could be. Ever since that woman put that low down and lonesome on me. Well, here on this whiskey river, ain't no paddle, ain't no boat. It's not a proof I'm clinging to, it's keeping me afloat. Say I used to give it down, but that was long ago. Back before she took our love and blew it through a hole and left me low down and lonesome, but I feel right at home, 'cause I've done grown accustomed, singing like a stone. But since I hit rock bottom, I've been high as I could be. Ever since that woman was there, low down and lonesome on me. Bartender keeps her picture on the wall here just in case I ever can't remember how I wound up in this place. Low down and lonesome, but I feel right at home, 'cause I've done grown accustomed to singing like a stone. Since I hit rock bottom, I've been high as I could be. Ever since that woman put that look down and lonesome on me. She put that look down and lonesome on me. Look down and lonesome. Look down and lonesome. Look down and lonesome.
Yeah, man.
There you go. That'll make you drink some chicken scratch.
I want to be in a honky tonk, getting rowdy.
Me too, man. I miss it.
What's one of the honky tonks you can't wait to get back to?
Well, I mean, obviously the Exit Inn. I don't know. Have you guys ever been to? I know you live streamed the show for us one time.
We have only been to the honky tonk experience at Crash My Playa. I've been to the Exit Inn. We've been to the Exit Inn. Yeah, we haven't been to his honky tonk experience.
I think that might have been the first time I met you guys. Was
down in Crash My Playa.
Yeah, that's Luke always is kind enough to have us come do that, and we obviously don't really fit in the mold of a lot of the style.
Yeah.
And I think he has us come do the late night show, and man, we've done the last 4 years, I guess, and it's been a blast every year. It's so much fun, and but yeah, that ones we do at the Exit Inn. I mean, the Exit Inn is an iconic place here in Nashville, and they put your name on the wall. You have to sell out so many shows, and I got my name on the wall last year. I mean, it's like Waylon's on the wall, Tom Petty. I mean, there's so many cool people that have played there. And so just when we started doing that, there was a lot of venues in Nashville we was looking at, and somebody brought up that place. And then we went over there, and I was like, oh my God, this is where we're doing it right here. It's like an old seedy, grungy rock and roll concrete floor joint. And we country the hell out of it. We used to do it once a month, and now we do it about 4 times a year. And we always have a lot of space. We've had everybody from Hauser and Gary Allen and Allison Krauss, Jamie Johnson, Brothers Osborne to the Foo Fighters come out and play with us. So
Nice.
everybody comes out and does country covers, does honky tonk covers. So it's so much fun. Actually, the bride's done it several times with us, and it's just
Nice.
a great time. So I miss that place more than anything. Just going. Plus, it's a mile from my house, so it's like
that's dangerous.
You can do a mile from your house and then jump in an Uber and come home.
Yeah, you got a home court advantage there.
Yeah, exactly. But I've been playing on the road. I mean, we're supposed to be on tour right now with Stapleton and Sheryl Crow, and all that got pushed to next year. So looks like we're doing a lot of live streaming this year and a lot of fishing probably.
Is there any timeline for when the honky tonk experience might come back?
We haven't canceled the ones at the end of the year yet. I guess it just depends on how this goes. On what happens here in town and as a nation. I don't know. It's up in the air. I sure hope so. I'd sure love a vaccine to roll along and kick this thing in the butt, because I mean it's kicking everybody's butts. I mean, it's just like from the service industry to all the musicians. I mean, it's obviously there's 30 or 40 million people that's not working right now because of this. So. We got to do something. We got to, I know everybody's working hard to figure it out, and I wish I had the answer to it. I wish I was that smart, but I'm hoping that's probably what it's going to take for especially for some of the bigger tours. I think nobody wants to be a guinea pig, and go out there and try it. And I don't blame them. I mean, it's a pretty scary thing, and obviously, especially for older folks and people with compromised immunity. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know what to do there, but we're hoping everything will, somebody will come up with something, and towards the end of the year, we shall see. But we'll be ready whenever it is.
Yeah, we'll be ready. We'll be waiting. We'll be looking forward to those next shows.
We should probably live stream that. That's
that would be great. We would love to.
We should probably
we'll be in touch.
Cool guests and have you guys come out and just throw down and just drink a bunch of chicken.
We're ready. Hey,
We're
careful
ready.
What you wish for, fella.
Hey, I'm there.
But hey, in the meanwhile, we're grateful that we're able to do this, create a live honky tonk experience for people, and we appreciate you hopping on here.
Thank you.
This is gonna wrap up the Facebook side of things, but if you're still game, we'd love to do a 2-song encore over on Instagram, and hope that everyone will join us to keep this thing going.
Yeah, and as soon as I get somebody up here to show me how to get over on Instagram, we'll be good.
Well, we might take a minute or two to get on there, but we'll be all right with that. Yeah. All right. People can follow at Kendell Marvel, and of course follow at Country Rebel here, and we'll do a little 2-song encore over on Instagram right now. We'll wrap up this feed and hop over there. So thank you everybody for watching, and thank you, Kendell.
Thank you guys for having me.
Cheers, everyone. We'll see you on Instagram.
See y'all.
Bye.